Hey guys, Myeongjin here, back with another episode of our Reds playthrough, and I have some good news, and some bad news, and some great news, but some horrible news as well. So to start it off with the good news, we're gonna go to the info section where I can show you that in May we went 15 and 14, and in June we went 4 and 1, so that puts us above 500, but the bad news is that we didn't quite do as well as I was hoping we'd do, and even though we did get a positive month in May, it wasn't quite great enough, and we're only 2 above 500 right now, at a .517 record, with the month of June being fairly difficult considering the fact that we have to face the Cards 3 times and the Cubs 3 times, and we all know how that went last time. So that's a potential 6 losses there if we don't even take 1 win off of them. So it can get a little sketchy here in June, but we have started it off strong with 4 wins before we lost to Washington. And here I'll show you our month of May, which was awesome at some points and pretty bad at others. As you can see, we went 2 losses in the beginning, then 1 loss with the win, loss, win, 2 losses. So we never had more than about 2 losses in a row up until Philly, where we lost 2, and then we lost to Cleveland for our 3rd in a row. And we just took off from there. 8 straight wins in a row. It was amazing. It was skyrocketing our record. I was like, wow, maybe we'll have a great month and we'll end up strong. But just as I was trying to get really excited, it ended, and it ended hard. As you can see, we lost 5 games in a row, and they were painful because they were by 1 run. As you can see with the Dodgers here, we lost 2-3. Then Milwaukee 0-1, Milwaukee 2-3. Got blown out here 0-4, but then another 2-3 loss to Colorado. So these were really painful. Having another win or 2 in here would have been really great. It would have been 3-4 games above 500, and I would have felt a little more confident going into June. But what can you do? That's baseball. So yeah, that's the good and the bad news. And I guess I'll start off with the horrible news, which is, or can I find it? Disabled list. Oh, Cody Reed, torn rotator cuff, out for the season. Our up-and-coming young pitcher who was looking to take a spot in the MLB roster, probably starting now in June. He would have already been in the roster if he didn't get hurt, because he definitely kept up his good pitching. He gave us another solid, I think, 20 innings of quality pitching down in AAA, and then he gave up 5 earned runs in 1.1 innings pitched, because I think that's when he was already hurt, and he just got blown out and he tore his rotator cuff. So yeah, we're not going to have Cody Reed at our 5 slot anymore for the season like I was hoping. Hopefully he can recover well and get healthy so that we can maybe start using him next season. Not really sure. Hopefully he can come back from that, because being out of the game for that long, it'd be a huge shame to see him pitching so well through his years in the minors only to get hurt, lose a season, and then come back and just not be the same anymore. He would have replaced, I forget his name. Yeah, Homer Bailey, because Homer Bailey has just not been pitching well. He was at like a over 10 ERA, and he finally brought it down to the 5s, like the high 5s. But again, he got blown up, and he made it shoot right back up from 5.4 to 5.71 ERA. But even besides that, he gives up a lot of hits, as you can see. 8 hits in 6 innings, 11 in 8 innings, which I guess, yeah, he pitched 8 innings, but giving up 11 hits is quite a bit. Give the 5 earned runs here. So I'm actually looking to trade him right now, and I'm speaking with another team, I forget who it was, and I put in a potential trade, and I'm hoping it goes through. If not, I'll have to offer them something else. But originally it was just to try and get some pitching prospects and something into our farm system. And I decided to throw in Homer Bailey, see if I can make that happen so that hopefully they take this huge contract. But it's costing us a few of our prospects, some pretty solid ones, and some other not so great people for, I think, 2, maybe even 3 of their pitching prospects. So yeah, I'll go over this a little bit later. Where was it? Batting, stats 1. This is already pitching stats. Okay. So that's everything out of the way except for the, I would say, great news, which is the draft. our draft was awesome. I'm really happy with the players that I drafted, and it honestly didn't even feel like I had enough, rounds, funny enough. I don't feel like I got the full rounds for some reason. I might have pressed something on accident, but I swear I'd only got to like the 35th round, even though I set it up to be 40 rounds. So I might have missed like 5 players that I potentially wanted, but it's okay. You know, I got a lot of really good players, and even at 35, I felt like it wasn't enough. Even 40 wouldn't have felt like enough. And as you can see here, this is our round 1 to round 5 prospects. And apparently the Reds had 2 picks, 2nd overall and 35th. So I started off with Jason Groom and Austin Bergner. It was between these two, whoever I wanted first, because I didn't think I could get the other if I drafted one. So I picked whoever I wanted the most, and I just said, you know, screw it, I'm going to go with Jason Groom. You know, I really like him. He might have the most upside in my mind. Or I just liked him the most, so I just went, okay, I'm going to get Groom. And I wasn't expecting to get Bergner at all. So when I got to my pick again, the 35th overall, and he was still there, I snagged him up immediately. Like, I didn't look at anyone else. I just went Bergner, draft, boom, you're coming on. And honestly, I'm glad that I did it this way, because I feel like if I went Bergner first, Groom wouldn't have been there. I can almost guarantee he would not have been there. I don't know why, I just feel like he wouldn't have. So here's Jason Groom. A little bit greedy, he demanded 7.5, and he was extremely hard, so I offered him 8 million to be on the safe side. So I'm hoping I can land him. I'm going to be really upset if I don't, because, you know, I'm really excited for him. I even went above of what I was willing to do. I thought he was going to be like a 5 to 6 million signing, and I saw 7.5, and I still said, okay, I'm going to give you 8. So I'm hoping he signs. You can see here, good stamina, good pitcher rating, potential for top-notch stuff, potential for just great movement, great control, 3++ pitches all around with a changeup, curveball, and fastball, a ground ball tendency pitcher, which is pretty good. And his BNN page, he has high intelligence and normal work ethic, normal everything else, so, you know, pretty solid all around BNN page, except with that high greed, which we definitely saw. And then Austin Bergner here, who I'm hoping this is true, but my god, he has the potential to have some ridiculous control, which is why I was really excited for him. His pitcher rating and his stamina are just through the roof as well. Very good movement, top stuff, 3+ pitches as well, you know, like curveball, fast, changeup, all really good. But the thing I'm most excited for is definitely this control metric at the potential of 99. The fact that he's only 19 and he already has 47 movement, 49 control, is making me really excited for the fact that this might be true and he'll have very high control metric. Even if his movement caps out around the 60s, I'll be super happy with, you know, 70+, 80+ control. I think that'd be great. And then even if you get a stuff to maybe around 70, you know, 70, 60, 70, or 70, 60, 80, that's a great pitcher in my book. So really excited for that. And on the plus side, might be low loyalty, but high leader ability, high intelligence with normal work ethic, so good BNN page on him, and he was fairly cheap. He only asked for 500, but just to be safe, I decided to offer him $1 million, because if I'm going to lose out on Groom, I at least want Bergner, so twice his demands as a hard sign ability should guarantee me him. And, 1 second. Okay, sorry, I got a text message. So, next up is Larry Guzman, who I don't know how I got him in the second round, because this guy is nuts and I'm super excited. He only wanted 280 at extremely hard, so I'm hoping that 650 offer will sign him. But check this out. Second baseman, 20 years old out of college. Defensive ratings, super crazy. Like, great range, great error, good arm, great ability to turn a double play. He can play second base, third, and short, all at a very high level. His base running is awesome. He has great base running instincts. His stealing and speed are about average, which is fine. You know, you usually expect someone with great stats all around to be either slow or super fast, but then not bat well. But here's the thing. His potential for batting, super high as well. I honestly don't even think it's going to pan out in terms of his batting ratings, because something's got to be off with this guy, right? If he turns out being great at everything, then shoot, I struck gold right here. So 72 contact, which is amazing. He'll be a great contact hitter with amazing avoid Ks. So he's going to be on base pretty often, because his eye and discipline too as well is about average. So you could expect enough walks in there with good contact between his avoid Ks and contact. Gap power, so even though he's not the fastest guy, you know, we'll be seeing a good amount of doubles, I'd say, out of him. Maybe he can squeeze out some triples, because like I said, you know, good base running instincts. Maybe he'll know when to go, when to stop, won't get out too much in the base paths. And he has a little bit of power to him, you know, 50. So this guy is literally just, I don't know what is like a 5-tool player, is that what they're called? Because he's got a little bit of everything if he can make it work out in terms of getting statistics up there. He's 20 years old with stuff in the 20s, so I'm not really sure if he'll really pan out as well as I thought in terms of batting. But regardless of that fact, great defensive player, and that's not going to change. And his, base running is pretty alright. So good stuff there. High intelligence, like to see that with normal work ethic. Unluckily, I couldn't get very many very high work ethic guys, or at least they're not in the top 5 guys I drafted, or top 6. Next up, third round, Kerry Cohen. He is extremely hard signability. What I give him? 250,000, yeah, because he only wanted 120, so I'll take that. And a guy with pretty good defensive ratings. He can play the corner outfield pretty well. Left and right field at 61, 66 rating, I think that says, with a really great arm. Got a good arm on this guy, so might put him in right field. And his contact rating has an ability to be pretty high with his avoid Ks as well, and his home run power. So that's what I really like to see. High contact, high avoid Ks, and home run power is a great combination, because it means that he's probably going to be a home run machine. Considering he belted out 15 and 200 at-bats in college, I'll definitely take that. That's on pace to be a 30-plus home run guy, at least in college. And his eye and discipline is 45, which is, about average, nothing amazing. So he will draw some walks. He won't really strike out too much. He'll get on base. He'll make contact. Good power. I like it. And his speed and stealing and base running are all pretty good. So potential really good guy here. Very high loyalty, which is awesome. So I think he'll be good teammate. Yeah, good teammate to have. Eric Rossi. It might be Rosie, but I'm just gonna call him Rossi. So he wanted 310, gave him 200 because he was easy, so I'm hoping he'll take that. And if he doesn't want it, I'm hoping he won't break off negotiations since he wants to play on my team. So then I'll just offer him more, and I'll guarantee get this guy, so I'm not too worried. And he can play the corners as well, left and right. I'll probably put him in left, if he ever does make the majors with the other guy, that is. But I'll probably be focusing on this guy being a left fielder anyway, with the potential for, again, great contact, great avoid Ks, with home run power, about the same eye and discipline as the last guy, except he has great gap power too. And although he doesn't really have speed, that should mean that he'll get a decent amount of doubles in there too, maybe sneak in a couple triples. Another great power guy with some contact. He's just not as fast as the previous guy, and he has pretty solid defensive ratings as well. His BNN page is better too, because he has high loyalty but very high leader ability, although I guess the low intelligence is a little bit iffy because I like intelligence and work ethic because it usually means that they have a better chance of panning out how you expect them to. And again, you can see here, good influence to have on the team. Pretty happy with this guy. And lastly is Robert Woodall, which poor guy, he is dumb as a brick, but he tries as hard as anyone. So even though he has very low intelligence, he's a high loyalty guy and a high work ethic. So he's one of those good teammates. He's a good guy. He works hard, loyal. You don't need to be the smartest guy. Just work hard and work at your craft, and you'll be good. So he is a reliever with insane stamina. So I want to see if I can convert him to a starter and potentially see if he learns and picks up a third pitch. If he can get a third pitch in his repertoire, he'll be a great starter because he has good movement, good control, and even though his stuff is probably a little bit inflated because he's listed as a reliever right now, if he was a starter, he'd probably still have very high stuff regardless. So again, if he can get a third pitch in there, and don't care what it is, he can definitely be a great starter because that stamina is unreal. Like, this guy will always give you long innings and just eat up a lot of innings for your team and not force your bullpen to work so hard, especially with these pitching ratings. If he can get close to that, and the fact he's at 55 movement at only 18 years old is awesome because that means he's probably going to have a pretty good movement regardless of how he pans out in terms of stuff and control. So as long as these can get at least average, I think he'll be an alright pitcher. And so be it. If he doesn't get another pitch, if he doesn't become a good starter, he'll be a long relief, right? Look at that stamina. This dude could freaking go in at the 4th inning, pitch to the 9th, and still be ready to pitch the next day. So yeah, this is why I said this was the great news, because I'm super excited. I think my drafts were awesome. Love it. I love the draft, especially the first couple years of the draft, because if this is anything like OOTP 16, then that means that the drafts are going to fall right off a cliff in about 3 or 4 years time. It's just going to be nothing but garbage. So it's going to be awesome to have all the pitchers. And I actually have to get going. It's probably not the best time to be doing this, but here you go. Really quickly, I'll go over some stuff. You can see the averages here. Overall in the season, DeJesus doing well, Votto, Hamilton, Holt, and Pacheco. You know, even Cozart are doing pretty alright, but everyone else is doing pretty poorly. In terms of on-base percentage, only Holt and Votto are getting on base. Everyone else seems to be struggling a little bit. You know, got some people slugging. You can see the wars here. Votto killing it at 2.5. Pitching, I guess let's sort it by FIP. You can see Cingrani doing pretty well, ERA and FIP. Wood, Diaz, Caleb Cotham, although his whip is a little bit high. John Lamb doing well. Finnegan, Hoover, and then surprisingly enough, Iglesias and Desclafani, even though they had a good ERA, good whips, good walk rates, you know, good K counts, their FIPs are actually pretty high. So I don't know if that's luck or what's going on, but we'll see if they start to regress later on. I think that's how FIP works anyway, so who knows. Yeah, besides that, that's basically everything. As you can see, I'm 30 and 28. Hopefully I do well next time. So I'll see you for the end of June. Again, might cheat for July so I can do the international free agency.